Okay, so today I'm demoing omelets, and this is a 2-egg omelet. So first of all, you're going to need 2 eggs, and you can break those, put those into a bowl. Make sure that you have good mise en place, because once this starts going into the skillet, you're not going to have time to be running around in the kitchen getting things together. You need to have everything together to begin with, so that whenever you start cooking, everything is prepared and ready to go. So I have also here some butter. I'm going to use about a tablespoon of butter. I've got my 2 eggs. I've got a splash of milk. About a tablespoon to 2 will be sufficient. I have some filling. I have some parsley here. And you might want to go ahead and pre-chop that. Again, mise en place. I have some shredded cheddar cheese blend. And you could also use whatever kind of cheese that you want, whatever kind of cheese you have. If you have just a slice of Kraft American cheese, you can take that and put that into chunks and put that in there. You can use meat. If you end up wanting veggies in there, the first thing I would do is cook the veggies and have those ready so that you can put them in there. Back here in the kitchen, I have some onion and pepper mix that you can use, and go ahead and just saute that up so that it's cooked, and you can put that in with your eggs. Now, some things you want to put in with your eggs, and some things you want to put into the middle. We are going to do a 1-fold omelet instead of a tri-fold omelet, because it is a little bit easier and really good for a beginner omelet maker. So, first thing, take my eggs and whisk those up. Now, what could you use if you don't have a whisk at home? A fork, yes, a fork works perfectly. So now I'm going to put a dash of milk in there. Again, about 1 to 2 tablespoons is enough, and whisk that in. I'm not going to go ahead and put my salt in, because sometimes that makes it a little bit tough whenever you add salt. I don't know why. Science, that doesn't always register with me, but I'm sure there is a science behind it. I am going to go ahead and put some pepper in there. I'm going to put a little bit of my herbs in there. I'm going to save some herbs for garnishing too, so you can take a nice beautiful picture. All right, now I want to have my pan heated. How do I know my pan is hot enough? Well, I am going to test it with the butter. So I'm going to take just a little bit of my butter here, put it in the pan, and if it starts sizzling, it's hot enough. I want this probably on about medium heat, okay? So now I'm going to take the rest of my butter and throw it in there and have it melted. About a tablespoon of butter. And I want to kind of swirl it around in my pan.
Part of the directions, there's I through J. I already need to get the pictures taken. I through J.
Everybody at home, we've got picture day today, so that's why the interruptions. All right, so put that back down on the eye of the stove, and then pour in your egg. All right. Now I want to make sure that the heat is high enough to cook the egg, but it's not so hot that it's going to burn it. And I'm going to let this sit and coagulate for a minute. That means that the egg becomes thicker. All right. Once it starts to coagulate, I hope you can see here that it is actually starting around the edges to start looking like scrambled eggs. And what I'm going to do is just pull back on that coagulated part and let the runny part of the egg just flow underneath. Omelets do not take a long time. I think they're extremely fun to make. A lot of times your first one doesn't always turn out well. It does take practice sometimes. Some people are just naturals, and I have had several students that have done a beautiful job on the first try. A lot of students that end up with scrambled eggs on the first try. All right. Now, if you want to, you can leave your egg like this and just fold it over. If you have a phobia of egg that is slightly runny, then you can also try to flip it. This is where people end up with scrambled eggs. But we're going to attempt a flip. I just want to make sure that it's nice and cooked all the way underneath, or else I'm going to end up with a big mess on my hands. I think it is cooked all the way underneath. All right. So I want to try to get my spatula all the way underneath the egg, gently lift, and then flip it over. And there you've got your flip. All right. So now what you can do is go ahead and fill. And if you got your meats and cheeses just on one side, go ahead and dump all of your ingredients there. You don't want a whole lot. It's going to be more than you think, since you're only putting it on half and you're going to fold it over, especially if you have some meat and other things in there as well. All right, and now I'm going to take that egg and just fold it over in half, and then I'm going to just slide it out on my plate. And there I have a beautiful omelet. Take some of my parsley, garnish, and it's so pretty, yay! And that's it. And it really does not take very long, unless you need more practice in making another omelet, which you can do at home. If you've got more eggs here at school, we will have one try, because we've got to make sure we conserve our eggs so everyone has at least 2 eggs to work with. All right. Are there any questions about omelets? Anything I didn't answer that you think you might want to know before you start your omelet lab? Did I answer all the questions? All right. Well, that is omelets, and I hope at home you guys enjoy this lab, and I want to see your pictures.